Your breakup is probably going to play out over many months. And I know you don't want to hear this, and I know it's something that people are saying, how long can I actually take of this? But the breakup starts a very long process. And the reason I say this is because the person who did the breaking up, whether it's you or the other person, it really doesn't make a difference. But most of the time, when the person does the breaking up, they're mentally prepared for it. They feel as though this is the way it has to be. They're sure of that decision. Like, even if they're not happy about it, they made that big decision because they feel like this is the route they have to go. So they're going to go in the opposite direction for a period of time. They told you there's a breakup happening. They've prepared for it. Now they are choosing a path of direction, a clear path. And the clear path is away. And I know this is terrible, but this is the path that they've chosen. The person who was broken up with doesn't have any clear path because you really can't give up hope. You still love this person, probably want this person back. So the limbo is what the other person is in. So one person on a clear path, the other person limbo. Limbo, horrible. Everybody knows that. The person on the clear path is going to go in the direction of building a brand new life. And this does not include the person they just broke up with. And I'm sorry, this is the hardest part of the breakup is when the two people are on such different ends of the spectrum when it comes to the direction of their life. So you feel as though, how is this other person not hurting as much? And maybe they are hurting if they made a decision they didn't necessarily want to make, but felt like they had to make. But even though two people could be hurting, there are two different stages of this breakup, two different directions, and definitely a lot more focus on the person who did the breaking up. So they've chosen that clear path away. They're going in that direction. They are going to spend the next few months building a brand new life, hanging out with friends, traveling, possibly dating. And I know nobody wants to hear that either, but that's the truth. They're going to start to do things that look like, how do you create a life? And these are the things we do to create a life. We start almost going outside of who we normally are, trying different things, hanging out with new people, maybe going outside of our box for the first time in a very long time. So the person who was broken up with is really kind of just standing still, frozen in the state of grief, while watching the other person just plug along day after day, step after step. It's a very difficult thing to watch. It's you shouldn't watch it if you're the person on the other end of it, but this is what the first few months are probably going to look like. That being said, after the person who did the breaking up is pretty far into that brand new life that they're trying to create, now they're a little bit more in this stagnant place of, okay, I've created this new life, these new experiences, these new friends, possibly dating. Now they have to sit with the thought of, is this new life better than the life I left behind? This is when they start getting more into the place of wondering, did I make the right decision? And they start to miss their old life. And this is pretty typical of most breakups. They do start to think about what they had with that other person. Usually the messiness has settled. A lot of the problems that seem to be at the forefront of their mind have now drifted a little bit more towards the back. The better memories are starting to come up and rise to the top. And now they have to question all the choices they just made. Plus, they're probably thinking about, has anything changed in my person? Maybe they broke up with this person for very good reason and changes had to be made. Maybe they broke up with their person because they were struggling with something in their own life and now they're realizing the other person wasn't actually the problem. So all of this starts to come into play. And this is where the person who got broken up with is starting to stabilize a little bit. Not happy, not doing well, of course, like having a difficult time of it, but they're stabilizing. So now these two people kind of pass one another, or I should say get a little more in one another's orbit. So when we start off, one person is down here, one person is up here. Then as time goes on, it starts to level, and then you kind of intersect one another. And this is a good time for conversation. So if you haven't had conversation or someone's looking to talk at all, if both people are open to it, this is a great time to start to do that. But this is definitely the time where the other person starts to really question, did I do the right thing, and where do I go from here? And then that's where nobody knows what happens. So upon breakup, nobody knows how the story is going to end, not even the person who did the breaking up. And I know all the writing's on the wall, you have all the facts, it looks like doomsday. But over the next few months, everything starts to change. Everything starts to change. That's why it takes such a long period of time for a breakup to actually play itself out, because once the person who does the breaking up starts to question their choices, then it's anybody's guess what happens with the couple. Do they return back? Do they go in that direction? Do they just sit with the choice that they made and continue drifting in the other direction? But this takes months. So if you feel as though this breakup, if it doesn't play itself out in 3 months, it's done for. On the contrary, and I hate to say that too, because I know this makes people say, well, how long do I wait? That's up to the person in this position. It's up to, and I never say wait. When you're in a breakup, go live your life. Like, do your best. Even if you love this person, even if you want to get back together, there's no reason to just sit on the couch eating popcorn, watching their life play out, saying, okay, I'm going to wait and then see what happens. You get to living. Go get to living while it's playing itself out. It's going to play itself out regardless of what you do. And also, if these two people are going to get back together again, that's going to happen. So be sure to keep one eye open if you want this person back, to what's happening, what are the stages they're going through, where are they in the process, but then also get to living. Just build your life, because you don't know how it's going to end. So nobody knows how the breakup is going to end until they start to get months into the process, sometimes years. And if I have to be honest, I would say most of the time when I see people that have had breakups, it's not about 3 to 6 months after the breakup they start to question the whole choice that they made, but it's probably not until 8 months, a year, until the couple kind of starts to make its way back. And I know everybody's like, what are you talking about? A year? 2 years? I mean, this is the truth. That's why I say, don't wait. Let life play itself out. The path is going to present itself to you daily, but breakups take a very long period of time to really play themselves out. That's why rebound relationships have such a difficult time working out, because usually when you get into that rebound relationship, it's great at the beginning, but then the people in that relationship really start to hit that wall of, okay, I'm moving in this direction, I'm creating this brand new life, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, wait a minute, this grief is catching up to me, and I feel this loss, I'm starting to feel some sort of a way about my ex, and then all hell can break loose. That's why rebounds are really difficult. But when we're looking at a breakup and it plays itself out over a period of time, the person who does the breaking up immediately after the breakup almost hits an acceptance period, which is not the way grief works. But if they break up with someone, they feel like, okay, this is my choice, this is my direction, I accept this breakup. And everybody knows acceptance is the last stage of healing. So if the person doing the breaking up feels as though they've accepted the breakup and they're going in this other direction, after a period of time, they kind of start the grieving process from the very beginning. And so it plays out over an extended period. I'm sorry, it is an extended period. So breakups take a long period of time. Never just sit and wait. Continue to live your life. Don't fight any of the natural feelings that you're having, whether you love this person, whether you want to get back together again. Don't fight any of those feelings. Accept all of your emotions as you're going through this, but continue to focus on you and what it is you're doing to get a little bit stronger, to stand on your own 2 feet, to rebuild a life for yourself. That can never hurt, because even if you get back together again, now you've built this beautiful, complete life on the outside, independently from that person. It makes you a much stronger couple. So let it play out. Trust the process. Keep taking one single day at a time. Like I always say, every morning, just get through today. That's all you need to do. The rest is going to work itself out. It really is, without any help from you. So that's a breakup in a nutshell. It's a really short version of what a breakup is going to be like.